Joining now is my colleague Simon Marks from Washington, D.C. Hello, Simon. It's going down to the wire. The poll pundits predicted that it's going to be a very, very tough road to re-election for Donald Trump. Are they still saying that?
Well, it clearly is going to be a tough road, but I think it's worth making the point briefly that this is not the landslide that Joe Biden and his campaign strategists had hoped for, and that perhaps had Joe Biden managed to win Florida, we'd be having a very different conversation right now. But within the last few minutes, one of Joe Biden's top campaign aides has said that it is a foregone conclusion that the Democratic candidate will reach 270 delegates in the Electoral College. That all-important number that he's got to get to if he's going to win the keys to the Oval Office. We know that within the last 90 minutes or so, the counts in Wisconsin and Michigan are moving in his favor. There are still millions of postal votes that have not been counted in Pennsylvania. The Secretary of State in Pennsylvania says only about 50% of the mail-in ballots have been counted there. We've learnt that the U.S. Postal Service in Georgia, and we're still waiting for the outcome of that race, failed to deliver the ballots from thousands and thousands of voters on election day itself. That's leading to court action over the failure of the United States Postal Service to get those ballots in on time as laid down by electoral law in Georgia. And we also know that Donald Trump is absolutely doubling down on his efforts to hold this election hostage and to insist that vote counting must stop. He took to Twitter a short while ago saying, how come every time they count mail-in ballot dumps, they are so devastating in their percentage and the power of destruction? The President of the United States there describing postal votes as mail-in ballot dumps, which they're not. They are just postal votes cast by Americans. And he's also been flagged by Twitter within the last few minutes for claiming that last night he was leading in many Democrat-run states. Then one by one, his lead started magically to disappear as surprise ballot dumps were counted. Twitter has said that that claim is disputed and may be misleading, as indeed it is, because, again, these are postal votes. Every one of them has as much weight as a vote cast by any American who showed up at polling stations. But the president wants to stop those votes from being counted.
Trust Donald Trump to be dramatic. He's also given every indication that he will move court and challenge the verdict in the event of a loss for his side. Which brings me to the question, Simon, on what grounds can Donald Trump move court if he decides to? Does he have any legit reason to challenge the verdict?
Well, it's very hard to see what his basis would be. I mean, this is not going to be the first time that his campaign has tried to shut down consideration of postal votes. They were in the Supreme Court last week, and the Supreme Court said no. In North Carolina, in Pennsylvania, you've got to count the votes, and you can do it even 9 days in North Carolina after Election Day, provided the postal votes are postmarked on election day or before. I mean, it's never been a controversial notion here that in order to figure out who's won a presidential election, you count all the votes. But that is now a controversial notion after President Trump has spent months sowing disquiet about the sanctity of America's electoral system, falsely advancing the entirely untrue claim that millions of ballots are fraudulently cast in every American presidential election. That's not true. It does not happen. And now, that event at the White House last night, flanked as he was by members of his family, the Vice President Mike Pence, the First Lady Melania Trump, declaring victory in an election that he has not yet won, propels the country down a very, very dangerous constitutional path.
Simon Marks, thanks very much for bringing us those updates and the perspective there. I wonder how Americans see all of this. Is there a sense of resignation? Are they excited? Do they want to know the result? Or have they have they sort of left it to the systems to figure out who will be their next president? Thank you for watching Gravitas on WION's YouTube channel. If you want to stay up to date with what's happening around the world, then subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much for watching WION. World is One.